Yeah.
I mean, if you feel scared, it's okay.
But if my panicking is just hitting a button and filing some complaints, I don't feel like this is justified. You know, like parents really can freak out. And when and I know what that's like. I've had all that adrenaline running through my system. I'm still able to keep my wits about me. Sometimes I wonder if it's my military training.
Yeah.
But and I think it's more so I've had to go through a lot already in life.
Yeah. And with her already, and with her sister already.
But I mean, I could see a parent in the situation I was, a reasonable, intelligent, good person parent, completely wigging out.
Yeah.
And like yelling and like,
you know. In here, but it's their kid. Like you're not who you are.
Yeah.
Well, become like a totally different.
Yeah, and in that moment, it's a trauma situation.
Yeah, like your body is like fight or flight, like freaking.
It is the definition of trauma.
Yeah.
When you are all of a sudden presented with a situation where you truly believe either you or your child or a parent is going to die.
You feel that like terror.
Mm-hmm. That's the stuff PTSD is made of.
Yes.
So
enough of that.
You know, so I thought I did well. Kristen came in that day and told me, "Hey, you did well, Mom."
Oh,
she's sweet. You know, but the director, Paul,
he doesn't want to have it. Huh?
I think he's very upset about the Department of Health complaints, and I'm kind of wondering if my restrictions aren't just hanging on until that investigation's over or something. And you know what? The funny thing is, like, Kim has nothing to worry about. The supplemental questions they're asking me have all to do with these restrictions. Because you can't do that for filing complaints. It's not enough to say, because they're trying to say that there is a clinical reason, because when I scare her nurses into thinking that they're going to be sued or something, which again, I didn't even threaten that then they're scared to be in the room with me, and so then I'm impeding her care.
It sounds like it's just like this big weird miscommunication that got totally blown out of proportion.
It's just all messed up.
Yeah,
but it's, I don't know, Jen.
I'm sorry that they're not going to reevaluate you.
Rolling with the punches.
I thought they'd open it up today.
I don't know. Even last week, they said that the team was good, that they're no longer in fear of being sued or anything. No one's ever actually been in fear of me. They've never even accused me of being volatile, because I never have been.
No.
They'd be hard pressed to make something up too, because everyone knows that's not who I am.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they say, hey, yeah, actually, basically our foundation, our reasons for doing this in the first place are non-existent anymore. Say that last week. But Paul says, but I feel more comfortable to ensure it's going to be a good long-term relationship, to build that trust. He wants to trust that I won't ever file another complaint.
But you being here less
doesn't help that.
No.
That,
like, I really thought they'd open it up today.
Yeah. Well, there's no reason for it.
Give you 4 or 5 hours.
There's no reason. So, no valid reason. But I didn't feel like they were in the first place. But even now, they're saying that those reasons aren't.
So Beth just sits in on the meeting, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. But I said those reasons aren't even factors anymore. Now it's just it all comes down to Paul, whether he feels comfortable trusting me.
From a risk management standpoint.
But when you think of like what he's talking about trust, it's not that he needs to trust that his staff is safe. Everyone knows the staff is safe. He's talking about safe from complaints and litigation.
Right. From a risk management standpoint, not from a staff.
How does that fare with the patient bill of rights when you should be able to, it says you should be able to complain without fear of reprisals?
Right, absolutely.
Or affecting her care? Well, It affects her care when she can't be with her mom.
So are they still holding on to the only reason that they're allowed to restrict you then is that you would be affecting the staff?
No, it's all just this tree of trust for Paul. That's the only thing.
I don't know him.
You don't want to.
I talked about this morning, and I was like, I just want to make sure you understand what's going on with security. Like, it was their bad. And I was like, oh yeah, I totally understand that.
Thank you.
Amber's been doing everything right. You're playing by their rules. So I just thought they'd open it up.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, regardless of whether I'm right or not, I'm still going to jump through their hoops.
You have to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I don't have a choice.
No, yeah, you have to. You don't have a choice.
Yeah. But at the end of the day...
You're in timeout.
I know. And at the end of the day, though, they're so concerned about their reputation and me filing complaints. At the end of the day, what's going to make me do that?
Right, not being with your daughter.
They're creating their own problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because now my family was here too for the memorial. You think my dad didn't already say something to the press?
About how you can't see. Yeah.
That's why I was talking to Kristen earlier this week. I was really...
And then you have to explain it to your family.
But then I was really scared that okay, are they just going to take away from me completely if this hits press? Or if this hits Facebook, or if this hits... And Kristen reassured me that no, they cannot restrict for anything, you or anyone. Yep. So, and this doesn't even fall within that. But so that's why it scared me. But my dad chimed up to...
Well, it's your dad.
Yeah. So, I've had other family members call attorneys and have attorneys call me.
What's the difference between 3 and 4 hours to them anyway, when it's like everything to you?
I know.
What is it to them?
It's a power and control thing. I think they want it. I think he's trying to make sure that I don't talk to the press, that I don't do this and that. But that's manipulative. It is. But that's, or that I don't file any more complaints, or, but it just baffles my mind, because as an attorney, if I was on their side, I would say, I wouldn't do that, because that's going to be the source of complaints. That's going to be the source of actions, not this other stuff. So,
I didn't ask Beth what she thought was going to happen or anything. I'm just surprised.
You've never seen anything like this? No?
I've been here over 12 years.
12 years, never
Over 12 years.
anything like this.
Well, we've had parent restrictions for things that, when they're restricted, we are because we're getting, when it gets to the point where we are truly,
But that's physical safety scared, right?
Yeah, they're scared. We're I do not want to go in that room.
Yeah.
I will not take care of that baby. I'm not wanting to encounter those parents. That's so different.
That's when you're scared of, physical, they're just, belligerent.
Really need to be restricted, because it really does affect the baby's care, because I don't want to go in the room.
Yeah.
And if I don't want to go in the room, then the baby's not going to get the right care, because I'm too nervous.
And that's what they're trying to tell me, just over filing complaints. I don't think that's fair. If I was belligerent, then absolutely. I get it. I think you should be protected from parents who are...
Yeah, we should be.
Belligerent or
where we're truly nervous for our safety, or truly...
your personal safety.
Worried about, walking to our car after taking care of a baby.
Yeah.
That's totally different.
That's totally different.
Yeah. And so I've seen restrictions that way. I've seen restrictions where we're also relieved because we feel like we can actually care for the baby now.
So then I asked Kristen, too, this week. I said... So what happens to parents if they actually file a lawsuit? If this is what you do because someone says they're scared of a lawsuit? Well, we can't restrict people for filing lawsuits.
Yeah,
okay. So then why then could you restrict someone for the lesser of just being in fear of a lawsuit?
Because they're saying they're restricting you for safety. They have to do that. Right?
I think it's just they're trying to twist it into falling in that category, even though it really doesn't.
They have to make it sound like it's in that category, though.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right. But you see, Do you see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
Like,
No, I see what you're saying.
fear of lawsuit isn't fear. Like, that's not
fear.
That's not the kind of threats we're talking about.
No, we're talking
here.
about fear of physical safety.
Exactly.
That was just cute.
I'm sure you have some of those.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we get the crazy, yelling, scary, throw things down.
You
They get to go away.
You get all. It's always the dads, huh? I have.
Just scarier for us, I think.
Just yet.
Like, I can handle a mom yelling at me a little better than, like, being physically, like, nervous about, like, some big guy who's, like, yelling. That's scary.
Yeah.
That's scarier for us. And they're quicker to take it away. Or the inappropriate remarks dads. They get to go away, too.
Oh, no way. Those
Inappropriate remarks dads
sick
get to go
jerks.
away.
They have a child in the NICU and they're busy heading on the nurses instead of taking care of the
So they get
mother.
to go away because we won't, because then we say no. Like, I'm not going to
That is so horrendous
doesn't bother
and
me as much.
gross.
Like, it's just kind of like, you're disgusting. Like, I don't feel unsafe. I'm just like, ew.
That
Like,
poor mother.
poor mom.
She's going through all this NICU
Just
stuff
making-
and dad's hitting on the
That's
nurses.
making inappropriate comments.
Do they tell mom why they restrict?
I don't know. I don't know.
Could you imagine that being
Imagine going to the mom and being like, so, your husband's pervy. Is this situation?
so he's
The nurses
not
are uncomfortably
yeah.
in the room. The nurses are all of a sudden wearing really frumpy outfits. We don't know why.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
That's
those
terrible.
Are restrictions for us because
Yeah.
for our work environment,
Yeah.
like they can't let me endure that at work. Because
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Well, you should never be harassed or sexually harassed. No.
No.
Because that's what it is. It's sexual harassment.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. So I feel like those restrictions are always a relief for us.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
goodness God.
But filing complaints is not harassment. It's just not.
sorry.
So,
I'm sorry that
More
it
reason
was
for
time.
parents to check them out.
Yeah.
Whatever they want.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to hear what the Department of Health says. That's the only reason